Let us now look at what a non-viable industry is. Now, generally speaking, a non-viable industry is an industry where a particular product will not be produced at cost of its production. Okay, why? Because the cost of production is higher compared to the price the consumers are willing to pay. Now, this is an interesting concept, okay? And what may be a non-viable industry at one place may not necessarily be a non-viable industry at the other place. So let's say, for example, today there are a large number of mobile handsets which are sold in India, okay? Of course, there's a manufacturer of a lot of these products in India, right? But the cost of production comparatively, if one were to produce it in India, would be something which is on the higher side, right? As compared to some of the other countries where the cost of production may be on the lower side, right? So if a person wants to look at producing a particular product in India, probably the cost of production is higher, right? If it produces in India at that higher cost of production, then let's say the cost is $100, right? Suppose the consumer is only willing to pay $80 for that particular product. There may be different variants of mobile, some may be feasible, some may not be feasible, right? But if the consumer wants to pay only $80, then this is a non-viable industry insofar as a person who's looking at manufacturing in India is concerned, right? So the industry is non-viable. Why? Because its cost of production, which is $100 in this case, is higher compared to the price the consumers are willing to pay for it. Now, if the same mobile you are able to produce elsewhere at $50, right? It will be a viable industry in that particular location. So let's say you have country X, right? In country X, just because of the fact that the government gives you some incentives, the cost of production is lower, or because the labor cost is low, or maybe the availability of other factors of production is in abundance, the cost comes to $50. This becomes a viable industry there. But insofar as India is concerned, in this particular example, for this particular line of product that we are talking about, because the cost of production is higher, it could be for several reasons, because the employee cost is high, because maybe the taxes are high, or for any other reason, it becomes a non-viable industry, right? In case of a non-viable industry, because of the fact that the demand is not there at the price which the seller wants to sell, these two curves do not intersect. Why? Because the price at which the seller is willing to sell, the supply curve, does not intersect with the demand curve. Ultimately, a non-viable industry shuts down unless and until, in some cases, because of their being essential, the government continues to run them even if they are in losses, because they are essential for the country as a whole.